Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Tuesday night. We're going to be talking about these and Bitcoin 4-year cycles. That's right. Last night on the stream, we were having this discussion about the past and how things have kind of worked in these 4-year stretches. And some of you didn't believe me. Some of you said, no, that's not true. And that just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it will happen again in the future. And that part is true. However, when something happens 3 times and you're kind of looking at it again, I'm willing to take that bet that it's going to happen again. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, give a like. Always appreciate the support as we get together and we talk about Dogecoin, Bitcoin, a lot of altcoins. We'll get to all of that. We'll get to your Q&A as well. But we want to dive in and get into the meat of what we're talking about, and that is the 4-year cycle. So last night we were talking, and as we were talking, we were watching the rise in the price of cryptocurrencies, and this is the Dogecoin chart here, now at about 7.5 cents, and we were marking these higher lows and higher highs, and we had identified that 6.8 here seemed to be the sort of short-term support, and 7.6 would be the resistance from a while back. And what did we have? We had a higher low last night right here. And then because of the great trading that we had, Dogecoin broke up above 7.6, topped off at about 7.8 here. So it's a higher high. And then dipped down, took a breather. That's okay. Bitcoin did the same. We'll watch it that. And now here it is, higher low. So we will be watching that. We'll check in with this in a little bit. Bitcoin right now at 24,912. Again, also experiencing the same kind of thing of higher lows here. And at the same time, higher highs. So Dogecoin, Bitcoin, kind of trading together. And actually over the past 24 hours, according to CoinMarketCap, Dogecoin and Bitcoin trading about the same. Just a little bit ago when I checked this, Dogecoin was a little bit higher in percentage than Bitcoin, but now they're about the same. So not too bad. Dogecoin doing okay, but so is Bitcoin do. Oh, looks like Bitcoin just jumped up to 25,000 there. How about that? So here we go again. Things are looking good, but we're going to talk about the 4-year cycles here. And in the 4-year cycles, what are they and what does that mean? So to start with, we have to talk about the halving and the Bitcoin halving and what that is. Bitcoin is a proof of work cryptocurrency. And as a proof of work cryptocurrency, there's mining that happens, and the mining validates transactions on the blockchain. And as a reward of validating the block, you get some Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain. Dogecoin, also proof of work cryptocurrency, and same when you validate a transaction on the Dogecoin blockchain, you get paid in Doge. Dogecoin has a consistent payout though. And with that consistent payout, that is going to increase or just continue to pay out over time. Bitcoin, however, is set up so that every 4 years, the Bitcoin that is given out as a reward to the miner for validating the block is cut in half. So it is deflationary that way every 4 years that it's cut in half. And what does that mean in terms of this sort of 4-year cycle and in terms of how Bitcoin is viewed? Well, that means that we're talking about scarcity with Bitcoin. That's right. Bitcoin is going to become more scarce. And with that halving, what happens is there's higher hash rate in order to validate the transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. And with that hash rate increase, what we normally see and what we've seen in the past is the price increases as well. So that also seems to coincide with the United States presidential elections, which just happen to be every 4 years too. And there is a little bit of correlation to the elections of the United States with the bull market as well. And we'll touch on that. These are charts thanks to Rob at Digital Asset News. And I've shown these charts before, and I've shown a number of others on other streams in the past. And here I'm going to just bring it all together here. And we're going to have this, have a look here. So cycle one, the first halving of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin started back in like 2009. The first halving was in 2012. And during that year, Bitcoin traded between $5 and $14. That was the price of a Bitcoin then. And then what happened in 2013? Went on a bull run and reached an all-time high of $1,132 thereabout. What did we see in 2014? We saw a bear market. There was a dip, bear market, came all the way down to $314. And then in 2015, Rob calls this a reset year. It's a reset year. So it is the year after the bear market, everything resets. And there could be a range of trading here that can happen in a reset year. So that was the first cycle. Let's take a look at the second cycle. Here's the second cycle. We've got the halving happening again in 2016. So the first was 2012, next 2016. There's the halving. Bitcoin traded between $375 and $956. And then what happened the next year, 2017? Bull run. Bull market up to an all-time high, $19,500. What do we see in 2018? Bear market. Big drop in the price, coming all the way down to a low, $32.32. And then we go to 2019, a reset year. Now, in a reset year, you can have some gains from 3,400 up to 12,900, kind of the middle of the year, tailed off there around the end of 2019. But that was the reset year. So this was like maybe a little fake bull run or mini bull run or something like that. And some say that's what we're experiencing now with Bitcoin in the crypto market. But in 2023, it started in the beginning of January, right from the start. But here in 2019, Bitcoin was kind of trading sideways for a couple months before going on a run. But that's the reset year. And that's cycle two. So what happened in cycle three? Cycle three, 2020. Another halving. That's right. The third halving of Bitcoin happened in 2020. And what happened? Well, Bitcoin was trading between 4,900, and actually the bull market started about 2/3, 3/4 of the way through 2020. In November or December, started going up on a big run up to 29,000. And then 2021 was the continuation of that bull market, reaching an all-time high. Now, I've got 69,000 as my all-time high. Rob's saying 67, 617, depending on what source that he's called. But that was the high. And what did we have after that? 2022. We just went through 2022, right? Bear market. Bitcoin goes down, comes all the way down to 15,700 there in November. And then where are we now? 2023, a reset year. That's right. It's a reset year. And so far this year, things have been positive. Bitcoin's up like 35% since January 1. A lot of altcoins some have lagged a little bit. Some have gone up a lot more. But this is the reset year 2023. And that leads us to then the fourth cycle of 2024, which will be the next halving, which will be like March or April of 2024. That's what's being projected by the number of blocks. for Bitcoin as a proof of work cryptocurrency. And Rob's guessing that we could see anywhere Bitcoin anywhere from 30,000 to 65,000 within that range, based on what Bitcoin has done in the past during halving years every 4 years. There's no guarantee that that's where it's going to be, but again, looking at the history of the 4-year cycles, that's just what's happened. And what does that mean for 2025? Well, 2025 could be a bull run again, and looking at new all-time highs for Bitcoin. And what does that mean for a possible all-time high for Bitcoin? Well, let's take a look. This is the current Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin now at 24,914. So we go to the weekly. So we zoom out and we look at a logarithmic scale, because that's just based on percentages, and we zoom out. And so this is how Bitcoin has hit all-time highs every 4 years. On this chart, here's the all-time high in 2013 in November. Came up and hit that first all-time high, $1,100. And then here it was right at the end of 2017, came up and hit that all-time high at like 19,700. And then here it was, 2021, came up and hit this all-time high of 69,000. It's just every 4 years. So what can we look for in 2025, let's call it? So I projected this out to 2025. Get rid of that. Project this over. And this is just a curve. That doesn't mean that this is exactly what's going to happen. A lot of people were drawing straight lines before, thinking that the high in 2021 was going to be like 200,000 or something. Well, that didn't happen. And a lot of the discussion about that is it's based on adoption, that the more Bitcoin gets adoption, sort of the less dollar gains you're going to see, right? But on a percentage, on a logarithmic scale, if you look at it like this, with this curve and how it's hit in the past, we pull this over and we look at the end of 2025, and we're looking at Bitcoin at about $180,000. So if Bitcoin follows the same path as it has in the past, every 4 years, we would see Bitcoin in 2025 at $180,000 a Bitcoin. That's what the chart generally shows. Now, is there any guarantee that that's what it's going to be? We don't know. But a lot of us are investing in cryptocurrency thinking that something like this is going to happen. And we're going to see Bitcoin make all-time highs. Right now, as we're sitting in this reset year of 2023, we can see these nice little gains and these little runs. It could also retrace and settle back down to, as it has in the past, leading up to 2024, which is here. And this is going to be the halving. The halving of Bitcoin is going to happen sometime somewhere around here, is where that halving is going to be. What's going to be the price of Bitcoin there? We don't know. Could be 30, 35, 40,000, somewhere in there. We don't know what that price is going to be. But generally what happens then after that halving is, a little up and down, and eventually a bull run is going to happen. Another bull market, and Bitcoin could go on a run. It could even go higher. We don't know. But that's the 4-year cycle that we're talking about. And this isn't the only one. It's not just Rob's 4-year charts. We can look at, here is Titan of Crypto on Twitter. He's posted this. And this is every 4 years. Again, this is based on, around the halving. However, it's also just looking at the price action on the charts, that there's a reversal that happens about every 4 years. From 2011 into 2012, This is 2015. This is 2019. And then here we had it right at the beginning of 2023. We have this reversal again. And what we're seeing now is Bitcoin going up from a low of 15,700 or so in November, starting 2021 in the 16s, and now we're up at 24, 25K for Bitcoin every 4 years. But it's not just him too. Let's look at Mustache, El Crypto Prof. He's got a number of charts on his Twitter feed, and which was the one I wanted to look at here? This one right here. So here's a chart he's looking at. And this is the, I think this is the 200, what is it? Yeah, the 200 week moving average here. And that the price of Bitcoin drops below this MA 200 every 4 years, 2011, 2015, 2019, 2023. We had this extra little dump here because of the pandemic, and when that hit, and there was fear in the markets and everything crashed, but then quickly recovered. Talk about a buying opportunity, right? That was certainly a good one there when Bitcoin went down to 3,000 or so. However, but generally what this shows again is every 4 years. And we are now in that fourth year where in 2023, we're seeing Bitcoin below this moving average, and it's going to move back above it. That moving average right now is at about 32,000 or so, according to this chart. So we'll see, and we'll move back up above it. That's the 4-year cycles. Here is interesting article on Seeking Alpha. And this was written in June of 2022, okay? So in June of 2022, what did we have? We had Bitcoin hitting a low of 17,000, what was it, 17,500. And a lot of people were saying that was the low of the year. That was the bottom. A lot of people were calling for the bottom. Then that was right after we had the Terra Luna crash, and then we had the Celsius crash, and that's where and this is where Bitcoin was. And this article looked at bear markets followed by bull markets. When the reversal pattern happens, they're looking at percentages, decline to peak, rebound back, another decline, and bottom out. And they look at this chart, and so. No, this is the one I want to do. This chart here. So this is the chart they were looking at. And so they've sort of blocked those 4-year cycles out into actually 3 sections instead of 4. Okay. And so the green is the bull market. So there's the bull market. And the bull market here happened from like mid 2016 right up to the end of 2017. And then we had a bear market. The bear market came down right through like 2019. And then we had the reset year. And this reset actually happened, it looks like it's about 15 months or so. And then what do we have, right? We have the halving again. And then we go on the bull market again. So we're back in the green. And then when this was, in June of 22, what they were saying at that time was we're in the bear market, but the bear market isn't done yet. And that they were projecting to the end of 2022, the bear market would continue. So this is back in June of 2022. They didn't know what was going to happen next. But sure enough, what did Bitcoin do? Had a little bit of a relief rally and then jumped down to 15,600. And that was the low. And now here we are in the next blue box, starting 2023, going up to the next halving, and we're in this reset period. So again, same thing, 4-year cycles. This is just what has happened with Bitcoin in the past. No guarantees that's what's going to happen to Bitcoin in the future, But, when things happen again and again and again, a lot of people believe it. And here's the last one I'm going to show you. And this is on, this is Finbold. This was written in December of 2022. And they're looking again at this sort of combination of bears and bulls. And they're basically saying every bear market is 1 year and followed by a 3-year bull run is the way they're looking at it. They don't break it down into reset. They just say it's bull run. 1 year bear market, 3 years bull run. And generally, yeah, you could probably see that. But here we are, right? Same thing we talked about. Starting in 2015, starting in 2019, and now here we are starting in 2023, starting the next bull run of Bitcoin. And according to Finbold, and this guy was writing this in December of 2022 on December 28th. And Bitcoin at that time was sitting at about 16.3, somewhere in there. And he predicted at that time, and this is what he drew here, this line here, Bitcoin was going to start its bull run. And guess what we've seen so far? We've seen on Bitcoin, if I go back to the 4-hour chart, turn off the log, reset this. This is what we've had this year for Bitcoin. Starting here on January 1st, 2023 at about 16,500. And here we are up here now at 25,000. The start of the next bull market, according to them. I think it's a reset, and I think we're going to see some up and down. But right now, this is showing 50% gain. A 50% gain in Bitcoin so far. So, 4-year cycles, that's what they are. Is this a reset? Are we going to see more up and down in 2023? Or are we going to be like this and Bitcoin is just going to take off? His prediction at the end of 2025 is Bitcoin at $800,000. $800,000 Bitcoin is his prediction on this next bull run. There's some people who are saying Bitcoin's going to drop still down to 10K, 12K. So you've got predictions all over the map. I don't know. I'm just looking at these 4-year cycles here and I'm like, 2023 reset year makes sense to me leading up to the next halving. And then 2025, a big bull run. Or we could just see more of this sort of extended bull market that lasts over a year and a half with the reset up and down. That could happen as well. But that's what the past has shown us, and I'm betting on that. So what have I been doing? I've been buying crypto in this bear market. And that's what we've been talking about here for the last number of months is wealth building. And how do you build wealth? Well, you don't chase during the bull market when it's up high. People were buying Bitcoin at 50, 60, 70,000 or close to, just like people were buying Dogecoin back in May of 2021 at 50, 60, 70 cents. That's not how you build wealth. And if you look at the 4-year cycles, this is where you make your money, is buying low and then selling high. At the same time, yes, you can get all involved in cryptocurrency and what it's about and getting away from the banks and being able to spend your crypto so you don't have to use fiat money. And that's part of it, but it's also about investing. And there's a huge percentage of people that are only into cryptocurrency for investing, and they don't care about that other stuff. They're just looking for opportunities to make money. And if you think that Bitcoin is going to go to $800,000 in the next 3 years, it's probably worth buying a few, getting into the game a little bit. Now, personally, I do have a little Bitcoin, but I've been putting more into altcoins right now. And why have I been doing that? Well, part of it is Dogecoin, because I love Doge. Doge was what I first bought, and am looking forward to the next big Dogecoin run. Because what I look at is this chart, which shows the relationship between Dogecoin and Bitcoin. And right now it's right at 30. And this is this yellow line. I showed this the other night, right at that yellow line there. And if we zoom out here, we go to the daily, we zoom out, we can see that back here in October of 2022, Dogecoin was right there at 30. And then what happened? Elon Musk bought Twitter. Dogecoin went crazy, went up to 15 cents. And this relationship between Bitcoin and Dogecoin, or Dogecoin's relationship to Bitcoin went way up. And then Doge got shorted down, and eventually Doge has come all the way back down to this 30 line. I'm looking for this next big run, this next big Dogecoin run here. And I'll probably take half of that Doge and flip it into Bitcoin. Something like that. We'll see. We'll see where things stand when that eventually happens. But that's what I'm looking for. And that's what we've seen with Doge. And I'm doing the same with SHIB, because SHIB went on this big run. Back here in October of 2021, SHIB went on this big run. I think there's going to be another big run for SHIB. These ETH whales it's going to happen at some point in time. And I'm going to do the same thing with the SHIB I bought. Sell for profit over time and probably wrap it into Bitcoin. And the other big one I'm looking at is Algorand. Algorand was up here at $2 back in November of 2021 at $2. Now it's 22 cents. That's a 10x to get back up to that level. Will Algorand actually get up to that level? We don't know. However, I love the Algorand project, and I think there's a good possibility of that happening. So I bought some Algorand as well, and I'll do the same thing. I'll take profits out and I'll put some of that back into Bitcoin. And some of it I'll probably cash out and enjoy life with it a little bit. But that's what I'm looking at. And that's the potential that all of this has. Again, it's 4-year cycles. It might not be till 2025. So we've got a couple of years now. We've got the Bitcoin halving about a year from now, and then the real bull market, because this has been, some call it, just a sort of a bull run in a bear market, of which we could still see some retracing coming again. But right now, things are still trading very well in cryptocurrencies. I mean, here's Doge is now up to 7.56. So we're seeing, green running back up 7.58 as Doge is trading. Dogecoin's just a lot of fun too. Dogs and memes with Elon Musk. It's a lot of fun. And I'm with you, Rock Lobster, same thing. Still holding my Doge from February. I bought mine actually on January 28th, 29th. I bought it at 2 cents, right when that spike was happening. That was the first Doge that I bought. I had been doing some stock swing trading before that, and I had just gotten out of a lot of stock positions, and I bought Doge. But I haven't looked back. And I've continued to accumulate Doge. If some of you have been on my recent streams, you know that I'm well over 1 million Doge now. And I still have that first 400,000 I bought 2 years ago. So my average is pretty low. I don't know exactly what my average Doge is because I've got Doge in so many different places. Between Robinhood, I've got some on Webull, I've got some in Coinbase, and I've got some in my wallets. So I don't know exactly what my average is on Doge. But I'm in the profit though. I know that because just the last bit of Doge that I've bought is at an average of because I've got that on a spreadsheet here, is about 7.22. And we're above that at 7.55. And that doesn't include the Doge that I bought 2 years ago or any of the Doge between then that I picked up. I've spent some too. I bought a number of things with Dogecoin. I bought my Tesla Cybertruck whistle here that I bought with Dogecoin from the Tesla merch store. I bought AMC movie tickets. I've spent Doge for services. Was talking about the story of sending internationally to a graphic artist in India that was doing some graphics work for me. Paid in Doge, wallet to wallet. International was done in 2 seconds for a fee of like 0.02 Doge. Didn't have to go through the banks, wire transfer, wait 5 business days, all that stuff. No, just cryptocurrency. So that's what we're talking about. Hey, Toss, how are you? No problem. Said we were going to be talking about 4-year cycles. Here we are. Hey, Sergio, how are you? Maybe gains starting in May. Gains are starting now. That's what I see in the market right now. Gains are starting right now. Bullish summer, you think? 600K is optimistic? Could be. We don't know. Oh, and you bought some up there at 60. Yeah. Well, might be a while before it gets up there, but I think it will. Best thing you can do is buy some at a low price and bring your average down. Dollar cost average it. You caught the replay from last night? Yeah. The rant on the banks. Yeah. Was having fun. There's a lot going on right now, that's for sure. And a lot of the news that you read about these banks, and some of these experts, so-called experts coming in saying that the pain is just starting in the whole banking industry. Maybe, but don't you think that that's a good time to be in crypto and not be tied to those banks? We had a lot of people rotating money out of banks and into crypto over the past few days, and we can see that it's still continuing. Still continuing. So, yeah, what's happening with Bitcoin right now? 24,960. So trying to get back to 25K while Doge is moving up, trying to get back over this 7.6 cent line. It's pretty good. Do you think Doge will reach $1 next bull cycle? That is the big question, isn't it? That's the big question. Doge to $1. if you were around April, May of 21 and you were in the Doge community, we all thought Doge was going to $1. From Matt Wallace to the Glauber Contessato, the Dogecoin millionaire, and all the others we were just convinced. And I still had my chunk of Doge, and I didn't sell any at 60, 70 cents because it was going to $1. We were just so convinced. And Barry Silbert then and his buddies all started shorting it, followed by the Saturday Night Live show, followed by Elon Musk then stopping Bitcoin payments for Tesla cars, which tanked Bitcoin, which then helped tank the whole crypto market. Doge too. And Dogecoin went from 73 cents all the way down to like 18, 17 cents in the matter of weeks. That was tough. All the time as it was going down, we thought it was even going to just turn around and go right back up. It didn't. But that was tough. That was tough. You're selling at 69, selling half. Yeah, when the bull run starts again, we'll be talking about how to take in profits and different ways to take profits. Taking little bits at a time or doing a big chunk at some number like this. You pick your number and that's your plan, right? And then you try and stick to the plan. That's what I say. Get a plan and stick to it. And right now, my plan right now is right through 2025, following this 4-year cycle, but taking some profits along the way, not waiting all at once, because you don't know when the top is going to be, right? You don't know. Different conditions can arise and can change that. So, and then again, of course, there's no guarantees that is what's going to happen. But again, as I showed, it's happened 3 times in the past. So we'll see. We'll see. George regrets selling his Bitcoin Litecoin in 2014. Wouldn't make the same mistake. Yep. No, Cryptos R Us is great on YouTube. I watch George every now and then. But yeah. He's building a new house even. So, and it's a very nice house that he's building, which is custom house for him and his family. Great for him. Enjoy the fruits of his labor. He works hard too. There's no doubt. But yeah, he's been around. But yeah, I'd like to enjoy some of that as well. And like I said, the Dogecoin I bought over 2 years ago, I still have most of it. And I didn't sell for profits. So I'm not building a new house right now or anything like that. But in 2025, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Bill, banks will be obsolete once crypto gets established. Banks are just a middleman. Watch what happens when someone starts to use crypto with loans. Only time. Bill, I think we're going to have these CBDCs first. It's not going to be crypto. It's going to be these central bank digital currencies. It's all setting up for that. The so-called digital dollar. That's why we're seeing this battle against crypto going on. It's because they want to step in and say, look, see, these banks are having problems. We've got the solution. The solution is the digital dollar, and we're going to pay you back in digital dollars, and this is how it's going to work. That's what I see coming. And you're going to have JP Morgan and Citi and Bank of America and Wells Fargo all in tight with the government Those are the big four, and they're going to help distribute the digital dollars, and they're going to be all in bed together. They want to get rid of all the little banks and all the medium-sized banks and just have the big ones. So the government and the big banks all together, and they're just going to try and squeeze out cryptocurrency. But you know what? Cryptocurrency is worldwide. United States cannot stop cryptocurrency. They can't. And on top of that, a lot of the customers of those big banks have a lot of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency. They're in the game because there's money to be made in cryptocurrency. And so their top investors have crypto. So that puts them in kind of a tough position, doesn't it? Kind of interesting. We'll see how it all plays out. Tomorrow, higher highs are dropping. Well, we're looking at higher highs so far. Don't know what the Asian markets are going to do overnight. But right now, as we're looking, higher lows and higher highs. We'll see if that continues. I haven't got my $10 yet. I got the new Robinhood wallet. I've got it set up. I tried to transfer Aave because I've got Aave on Robinhood. I tried to transfer it over and it wouldn't let me transfer it. And I emailed them, and because I first reached out to them on Twitter, and they said, here's my wallet, zero in the wallet. And it was like, oh, I guess I have to deposit to get a reward. Is that what it is? That's what this little thing is saying right here. I've got to make a deposit. Kickstart your wallet with reward. Get USDC on us after you make your first deposit. Oh, so transferring over isn't good enough. You actually have to give them some cash. Okay, well, I may look at that. I may take a look at that. But I don't know why it wouldn't transfer my Aave over, because Aave is supported on this. But they haven't answered my email yet. Hey, Wen Lambo, could Doge hit more than $1? It sure could. There's nothing stopping Doge. Think about it. If between SpaceX, Tesla, Twitter, and who knows what else, Doge could just go crazy. One thing I know, I will never sell all of my Dogecoin. I'll never sell it all. I'll sell some. I'll take some profits, but I'm not going to sell it all. I'll always have Doge. I'll always be in the Doge game. Other cryptos, I may sell it all, wrap some into Bitcoin, and then take profits. If Bitcoin goes to 200,000 in a couple of years, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Do you think Matic and Sheeb are big sleepers? Well, Crash Coin, I'll say this. I don't think they're sleepers because they're pretty known now. Sleepers are the projects that are not well known, but could become well known in the future, like Optimism. That would be a sleeper, would be Optimism. And I bought a bunch of OPs because that's a sleeper, because not a lot of people have heard about Optimism yet. But Matic and Sheeb, they're top 15 cryptocurrencies. And they will probably do very well. I think Polygon is going to see a good run along the way. There's a lot of people using the Polygon network. And is Polygon going to perform better than Bitcoin? I don't know. It'll probably follow it quite a bit, I think, and do very well. And then Sheeb, like was said earlier, SHIB is probably going to go on some huge run because we saw SHIB do it before. And I think there's too many ETH whales behind SHIB that SHIB is probably going to do something similar again. Doge Elon Mars. I haven't looked at that in a while. Doge Elon. How's that been doing? Still has a lot of zeros here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. 37. You can buy a crap ton of these. How high did it actually go when it came up here? Oh, it only had 5 zeros. So yeah, it gained a zero back, right? Coming down. I just don't know what the use case is for Doge Elon Mars, other than being just another token that has seen some great gains, has a lot of support, but I don't know what it does. Where the SHIB devs are making the Shibarium and this layer 2 and are actually creating something for their SHIB ecosystem. So there's a lot there, but I don't know. I haven't heard about Doge Elon Mars actually creating anything. And same with Floki. I don't know what Floki's doing either. People are saying Floki's going to go on some huge run, but I don't know. And Bone has been going down since that Shibarium beta started. So I think they were pushing Bone to get people to buy up here, and a lot of people were buying, but now it's down. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Yeah, $10 of Doge Elon Mars, you get 20 million coins, a lottery ticket. Yep. You never know, right? You never know. No, I'm up over 1 million, Kyle. I'm up over 1 million now. Doge. I've been buying this past month. A lot of Doge. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about this move up with Dogecoin, and I've been doing all my circles here of when I've been buying. All my green circles here are when I was buying. Can see it better on the 2 hour here. So I bought here at 739. I bought here at 704. And then as this was going down, I bought at 688. And then I bought again at about 662. And those were my 4 most recent big Doge purchases were those. So, and I had money from the end of, I bought some at the end of December, but I was buying more Algorand then. And then at the end of January, I bought some SHIB, and SHIB was too high, but I thought that, come February 14th, right? That's when they were talking about Shibarium maybe launching. So I'm a little down on the SHIB that I bought there. But then my end of February money, I was saving here. And then when this big red candle hit here on the 2nd of March, that's where I made a purchase. I didn't know what was going to happen then, and I still had a lot left over. And so then I spent the rest of it here on the 9th. So that's what I was able to do. So I got a lot of Doge now. But I got some SHIB, and I was talking about these other ones that I bought, like Optimism. It's now up to 274. And I bought down here at 212, right there. So that's a nice gain. I bought some Aptos. I'm in the Aptos game. I bought some Aptos here at about 1073, and then again here at about 1040. That's another sleeper. It's Aptos. Watch Aptos. It could just moon. So those are my two sleepers for you, Optimism and Aptos. And then we were talking about Jasmy the other day too. And so I got some in the Jasmy game right here. I get some right there and right here. So those are my longer shots. Are those? And you can earn free Dogecoin on faucets. Yeah, we were talking about that. Coin to apply. Hey, Oka, how are you? Can you do a projection for Doge also? How high can that go in a 4-year cycle? I will do that coming up. Okay, I'll do that coming up. We'll look at Doge out into the next couple years, and we'll take a look at that. That'll be good to do. If Bitcoin does this, Dogecoin will do that, and we'll see what the numbers say. We'll take a look at that. A lot of it's going to go back to this relationship again between Doge and Bitcoin. Is it going to stay at this 0.0003%, or is it going to come back up to that 0.0004%, or is it going to be even higher? Like it came up here in October up to 7. Because there's going to be a run on Doge, and we know when Doge runs, it's not when everything else is running. It does it because of some catalyst that happens. And we know Elon still hasn't forgotten about Doge. So, but Doge also will continue to increase in adoption, and we'll see a lot of activity on Doge going forward. Another one, Fetch AI. We don't know what Fetch AI is going to do, right? That's another sleeper. I bought a little bit into Fetch AI too. I wanted to be really diverse this time, right? I was spreading the net wide so I could hitch on to some of these, and needed something in the AI realm. And so I bought this Fetch AI. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hey, Ghost. Healthy day-to-day gains in Doge. Still missing the FOMO rocket. Do you think it's going to happen? It's going to happen. And we don't know when. It could be a while. We don't know when the Doge 1, SpaceX project is going to be. We don't know if Elon and Tesla are going to accept Dogecoin as payment for Tesla cars at some point in time when Elon gets back into believing that cryptocurrencies are energy efficient. That was his whole thing, right? And then what's going to happen with Twitter? And is Twitter going to be an online banking system? And is crypto going to be involved in that? Those are 3 big ones right there. Any one of those could cause Doge to go on a big rocket. So, hey, Laura, compare Bitcoin chart 2018 to 2023. Yeah. Again, it's just, some people are taking fractals, right, of tracings of what has happened in the past and then projecting out forward. And it could be just, 4 years apart, different conditions, different market conditions, different things going on. But those 4-year cycles are pretty strong. So it's hard to doubt that we're in this reset year here. And in 2023, we're in this reset year. And then there's going to be the next Bitcoin halving in 2024. And then 2025, as we've seen before, there could be this big bull run. Again, no guarantees. For those that are just joining the stream, you can rewatch this as a video, and I go through all of these 4-year charts here and show sort of the progression in the past of the Bitcoin halvings that happen every 4 years. So you can watch that. Again, this will become a video on my channel as soon as the stream is done, so you can rewatch it. Bitcoin 25K, there it is, back to 25K. It's not slowing down, guys. Took a little breather this evening, and just right back. That's pretty strong. Elon needs Twitter to be in profit. Well, he's working on that, that's for sure. But he does want Twitter to become even a larger thing and to incorporate payments. And how he gets that to work is probably pretty complicated. But if he's determined to do something, you know he's going to find the right people working with him to make it happen. So that's what we're waiting for. And when moon, we don't know, Adolfo. We don't know. And that's why I just wanted to make sure I was in the position of accumulating here. Earlier this month, I was accumulating because prices were down. And so I wanted to be in position that I didn't want to be waiting to see whether we were going to get another bigger dip. I mean, there's still people out there calling for $12,000 Bitcoin, $10,500 Bitcoin. And I don't see it. I just don't see it in the charts. I think Bitcoin's going to go down, in half its value of where it is now, with all of this going on with the banks and people putting their money into Bitcoin. They've got a big load of cash sitting on the sidelines and they're missing out. And I didn't want to be in that position. So I'm out of buying power. I put it all into crypto. And so far, I think on average, I'm up 15%. After all the purchases, even the sheep that I bought high that I'm down on, you average it all together so far for this year. 15%, that's not bad. It's not great. If I had bought just all Bitcoin, I would be, up 30, 35% or something. But I spread it out. Some have done better than others, but I feel pretty good about it. And I'm set because we know that they're going to go. Sheep is going to have a run. Doge is going to have a run. Jasmine is going to go on a run. Optimism, Aptos, Fetch, all of these, and I'm in the game. So, and you can just buy every week. Yep, you can just DCA. Some people do it daily. Some people do it weekly. And some people like me look for the dips, and I just buy on dips. Some dips are better than other dips, but that's how I did it. There will be some other dips maybe, but if you've got some cash, Adolfo, now there's no, we could see Bitcoin retest 22K. We could see Doge come down and retest 6 cents. That could happen. The 6.88 line was pretty strong here, came down and hit it, right here on Monday. And we could see a retest of that. That could happen. And that's where I was buying, right there. We don't know, but that could happen. I remember people saying Bitcoin will crash to 1,000. 3,500. Yeah, well, the 3,500 in 2020 was the fear of when the pandemic hit, was that one. What a great buying opportunity that was. I was not into crypto. I was all in stocks at that time. And with fear in the market, I wasn't buying. I had it all wrapped up, and I just didn't really take advantage of that situation. But I'm doing this now. I did the Doge at 2 cents, and I'm doing this. So we learn, right? Start driving an Uber. Take online surveys to buy crypto. There's lots of ways to make money here and there and put it into crypto. He's right. A lot of ways to do that. Okay, guys. Well, that's what we have tonight. Yeah, we will. One of these nights, we'll take a look at Dogecoin into the future, and maybe some other cryptos as well, and look at what the next 2 years may look like for some of those. And so that'll be a fun stream. Remember that, again, this stream becomes a video on my channel. Please give it a like. Also subscribe to the Kriss channel if you haven't already. I appreciate the support. And after I finish with this, I'll be putting the Dogecoin chart back up, the 24/7 live stream for the chart. So you can check out Dogecoin's chart on YouTube at any time. So do invite you to check it out. Give that a like as well, and leave a comment in the chat there. We appreciate everyone's support, and hope you all have a good evening. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.